Hello and welcome to my putting green. We are about to do a quick hip mobility routine. I did not mean for that to rhyme. And all you will need is something comfortable to sit and kneel on, and maybe a couple of blocks if your hamstrings are kind of tight. So come and sit in a 90-90 position, like so. You want 90 degrees here, here, and here to start off with, and then you're going to rotate your chest over your back leg with your hands behind you. If this feels particularly uncomfortable for you, you can also use the blocks to elevate your hands and to try and turn yourself a little bit deeper into the stretch. We are going to be here for a minute. And I want you to think about getting your butt cheek to roll down towards the ground. It might not ever get there, that is not a problem. And you might find that this is quite uncomfortable. You might almost feel like your bones are kind of touching in your hip and you might think you're doing it wrong. In fact, you are doing this right, I regret to inform you. Think about keeping your knee down and your foot down and just breathing into the stretch. If this is so uncomfortable that you cannot breathe, you've gone too far. Now what we're going to do when this minute is up is start to try and drive your foot down through the ground. But your knee is not going to lift. It's going to stay glued. And then, once we've worked up to our max effort, you're going to try and go in the opposite direction and lift your foot off without your pelvis spilling forward. Yeah? So a minute is up. From here, 20% effort trying to drive your foot down through the ground. So no pressure through the knee, though it stays glued to the mat. And then you're going to try and find 40% effort. So push the foot down a little bit more. Everything else stays still, knee stays in contact. See if you can find 60%, and then 80. And then if it feels safe, give me a little more. Give me your safest, greatest effort. Imagine if I came around and tried to pick your foot up off the ground, I wouldn't be able to. Nice, for 2. 1, now try and reverse it. Try and pick your foot up off the ground. I do not want you to move. I do not want you to spill your pelvis forward. Just max effort, trying to float that ankle bone to the ceiling. For 3, 2, 1. Gently relax. Nice. If it feels like you're going to cramp, again, you're doing it correctly. Sorry about that. From here, I want you to rotate. Bring your chest forward. Thank you, helicopter. That's just what I needed right now. Think about trying to drag your belly button straight forward over your knee and drag that butt cheek back behind you. So you're bowing the stretch. Really want you to feel this deep into the hip capsule. Keep breathing here. You might be able to come a little bit further forward, but I don't want you to, again, just kind of slump and get that superficial stretch. I want you to drag your chest forward, butt cheek back, getting that deep hip capsule stretch. We're here for about another 30 seconds. If you are looking at my dead plants, please don't. I've got ADHD. I don't remember to water them. In fact, maybe I can get AI to edit them into something presentable. Maybe I should set an alarm. Anyway, from here, I want you to keep this stretch, don't let anything move, and then 20% effort trying to drive this foot down through the mat. So same deal as before, your knee stays still, it doesn't lift, but you're trying to drive your foot down through the mat, 20% effort, and then 40, and then 60. From here, you can almost try and pick up your foot yourself, make sure you're resisting. 80%, and then your safest, greatest effort, trying to drive that foot down, no pressure through the knee. For 3, 2, 1, and then try and lift off. So again, same position here, but try and take your ankle to the ceiling. Max effort. You should feel the side of that glute fire up. It should feel not great. For 3, 2, 1. Nice. Gently relax. Beautiful. Slowly come out of that. Switch sides. If you need to pause the video, stand up, shake it out, curse my name, feel free. And then setting up on the other side. So same thing, 90 degrees here. Something I should have mentioned earlier. If this feels gross for you, when we're coming forward this way, you can move this knee. But we're going to start in the opposite way here. That was terrible English. We're going to do external rotation first, is what I'm trying to say. So, taking that chest straight ahead, dragging that butt cheek back straight behind you. Keep breathing here. If you notice that you're like really tensing the face or the throat, or trying to wear your shoulders as earrings, just let that relax and breathe. You might notice that this side is tighter than the other side. That's fine. You might notice that the other side was tighter. That's fine. Just breathe. And again, if you need to adjust this back leg, that's fine by me. We're really working on the external rotation of this front hip. So keep breathing. And now, start to try and drive that foot down through the mat, 20% effort. Knee stays solid. You're not pushing through this knee, so we're trying to find rotation. 40% effort here. And then 60, 80, your safest, greatest effort. So no one should be able to come around and pick that foot up, right? You're really driving down into the ground for 3, 2, 1, and then opposite direction. Try and float that foot off. You should be at the end of your range. You should not be able to actually lift that foot, but you're using all the muscles that would let you lift that foot. Nothing else changes position. Keep breathing. Keep trying to lift. And relax. Nice. From here, rotate open. So you're bringing your chest over this back leg. Breathe here for a minute. If you feel this in your knees, you can come into a bear sit position. So you're going to be here and drop that knee in. You can lean against a wall or just be here. And when we do the pails and rails, you're going to try and press out, so driving your knee into your hand, but not letting it move, and then trying to drive further down. Okay? Everyone else who's still here, breathe into that stretch. You have 15 more seconds. Maybe you can rotate a little bit further. Maybe you can relax everything else a little bit more. Nice. From here, 20% effort, trying to drive that foot down through the mat. Good. And then 40%. 60. 80. Imagine if I was in the room there with you. Great, car noises, love that. I was trying to pick your foot up. Find your max effort for another couple of seconds. Nice. And then reverse it. Try and float that foot off the ground. Do not let your pelvis rock forward as you're trying to lift. Just try and fire up the muscles that would let you lift. If you feel like your outer hip wants to cramp, you are doing this correctly. For 2, 1, relax. Nice work, team. You can windshield wiper the knees if you need to, shake it out. And then we're going to come to do some hamstrings. So, you're going to be kneeling with one leg out in front of you and give me a decent bend in that knee. And then I want you, with a flat back, to bring your chest closer to your thigh. Yeah? Think about pulling this hip back into the socket. Once you're here, I want you to really kind of feel the stretch in the belly of the hamstring. If you are rocked too far forward here, you might not be able to feel it, or if you're kind of stuck back here, you might not be able to feel it. So think about stacking that back hip over the knee. This is where blocks can come in handy, because even if you can reach the ground like I can, it can just feel nicer to have a little bit of elevation in whatever form that is. Especially so you're not kind of reaching down and shrugging your shoulders like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Is that a reference the kids will get? Keep breathing here. Maybe you can straighten the leg a little bit more. Got 10 more seconds. Just keep breathing. Now from here, I want you to try and drive your heel down into the ground. Start with 20% effort. And then find 40, 60. If you've never done this before and it's feeling pretty spicy, stay at 60 for today. If you feel like you can give it a little bit more, 80. And then your max effort driving down. This is for 3, 2, 1. And then try and lift that foot off. You should not be able to, because you should be at the end of your range. But use everything on that quad to try and lift. And gently relax. Nice work, team. Take it over to the other side, so switch legs. Start with that deep bend in the knee. Square your hips. Think about pulling that hip back into the socket and lean forward. You might notice that this side is tighter than the other. I certainly do. They might be the same. And again, find that approximately hip stacked over knee. You might be a little bit forward or a little bit back. I don't really care about that as long as you can feel it in the belly of the hamstring. But like I said, if you're super forward or super behind that knee, then you're probably going to struggle to feel it as well. Keep breathing here. You kind of want the biggest stretch that you can find that you can still breathe through. It's going to be uncomfortable, yeah? But I don't want it to be so bad that you're holding your breath. Nice. Keep drawing that hip back into the socket. Keep breathing slowly in and out through the nose. Trying to keep the rest of the body nice and chill. And then from here, again, that 20% effort, trying to drive your foot down. And then 40, 60, 80 if you've got it. Max effort, trying to drive your foot straight down through the ground for 3, 2, 1, and then try and lift off. If you can make your quad or even your abs cramp, great. You're doing great work. Try and float that foot off the ground. Technically, you shouldn't be able to. For 3, 2, 1. Oh, I got the mad hip flexor cramp. Nice. Gently release. And slowly come out of that. So we got a little bit of hip internal and external rotation, some hamstring, some bonus hip flexor action. So now you're ready to go train. Or get on with your day, or I guess make a voodoo doll with my name on it. My official real name is Catherine. You're welcome.